Hello, it's Randy again. I'm here today to share with you another flying adventure. This adventure covers 3,800 miles, 12 stops in 12 different states. Here we are on our first leg, enjoying the sun above us and the clouds below us. Our first leg was a 3-hour flight where we landed in Branson, Missouri. One of the main things to do in Branson is to see some of the fantastic shows. Our first show was put on by the musical family, the Haymakers. They are incredibly talented and they put on a fantastic show. The next day we spent our morning starting with the Tiger Sanctuary. These are beautiful animals that have all been rescued from various circumstances. It's well worth the trip. Another must-see if you're ever in Branson is Dick's Five and Dime. It's a throwback to another era. For dinner we had a fantastic meal at Top of the Rock, and then it was time for another show. This time we went to go see Reza the Illusionist. He is a great performer, and it's another show that's well worth seeing. The next morning we took off for Lexington, Kentucky. It was a 2.5-hour flight, and we loved seeing the Kentucky horse farms from the air. The next day we spent the entire day at the Kentucky Horse Park. At the horse park we were able to not only see, but we were also able to feed some beautiful and very expensive thoroughbreds. At the park we then made our way over to Rolex Stadium. Rolex Stadium is where they have horse jumping events. We were fortunate enough to be there during an event. We spent several hours watching the competitors compete on their beautiful horses. Our next stop took us to Niagara Falls, New York. Here we got to see the falls from the air, from the boat, and from the ground. All of the perspectives were absolutely incredible. If you ever go, take a ride on the Maid of the Mist boat. The power of that water will simply amaze you. It was great waking up to the sunrise with this view out our hotel window. The next day we went exploring Niagara-on-the-Lakes. It's a quaint little town with some beautiful old buildings. If you ever go, a must-stop is the Budapest Bake Shop. They sell chimney cakes that make a great snack or even a good meal. In Niagara-on-the-Lakes, there's plenty of places to stay, shop, or eat. On our next leg, we made stops in Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and then Rhode Island, where we stayed the night. In our landing in Vermont, we got a crew car and went into town and had lunch at a sandwich shop. The sandwich shop has been run by the same family for 46 years. In Rhode Island, we landed at Newport, where we spent a couple of days sightseeing. Newport is known for its mansions, and I can tell you, there's plenty of them. Let me just say that the boats and the houses in Newport, Rhode Island don't look anything like the boats and the houses that I'm used to in South Texas. As you can tell from these pictures, these people live a very different lifestyle than we're accustomed to. The next part of our flying journey was one of the highlights of the trip for me. After a touchdown in Connecticut, we then continued on to the Hudson River. This is where we flew the Hudson River corridor between New Jersey and New York. In this time-lapse video, we are now passing over the New Jersey side of the shore. After passing just west of the Statue of Liberty, we then did a 180 and went back up the Hudson on the Manhattan side of the shore. Being at eye level with those skyscrapers in a plane that you built in your garage is a feeling like none other. Here's a view of Manhattan Island from 1,100 feet. And here we are passing over the back of the Statue of Liberty. These next few pictures are some of my favorite of the skyscrapers we took in New York. I'll quit narrating and just let you enjoy the sights along with me. The next portion of our journey took us to Latrobe, Pennsylvania for lunch. This is the home of Arnold Palmer. They have a great Italian food restaurant located in the airport terminal. After lunch, we continued on to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. There we got a good night's rest and got ready for our last leg home the next day. That last leg got a little intense at times. Between Shreveport and New Braunfels, we had to pick our way around several thunderstorms. But we eventually made it home in the little plane that could. Well, that's the end of our trip. Thank you for riding along and sharing in this journey with us.